Riding these super bikes is a lot like riding a dirt track bike. They slip and slide, and you make yourself part of the bike. Each person has their own style. Mine is a little bit hairier than others, and it works for me.
The bikes accelerate really quick. You go from 0 out of turn 9, which is about 15-20 miles an hour, to 140 miles an hour within 200 or 300 yards.
The spectator can identify with the brands of motorcycles being run.
Even though it is a stock production bike and it looks like something you can buy, it's really not for beginners.
It may look simple to the television viewers, us going 160 miles an hour around these corners, but believe me, it takes a real professional to do what we do.
So much beauty on this earth, and so little time for us to enjoy it. Our lives get caught up in the mundane, yet often essential aspects of making a living. By chance, when we do get away, we can be offered a rare experience, an opportunity to taste the essence of freedom. How else can one travel early in the morning and literally taste the dew, fill one's lungs with clear ocean air, and feel the oneness of man and machine that only riding a superbike can offer? There's a control center in the brain that relates to ecstasy and excellence. It comes alive with every sweeping corner that delights our way, every time the machine is leaned from left to right and pointed down a stretch of empty highway. This is riding a superbike, where all of your senses are stimulated by the immediate surroundings as your body bathes in the passing wind and your mind sings a tune in unison with the hum of the engine. Riding a superbike on the highway is an experience of motion where our enthusiasm is tempered by the law of the land. On a racetrack, there's no policing of speed laws, only the ultimate challenge between brave men, their machines, and a twisting ribbon of asphalt. A dream environment for a superbike.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to one of the premier road race tracks in America, Laguna Seca, nestled in the rolling hills just inland from Monterey, California. My name is Bob Lee, and I'm your race commentator flying above the track in this Jet Ranger helicopter. We are traveling from the starting line towards turn 1, which for a superbike is a 145-mile-per-hour fifth-gear left-hander. The corner is almost blind, coming right after the brow of a hill. This leads straight into turn 2, also a left-hander, which is taken in fourth gear at 130 miles per hour. Then the bikes accelerate up to 150 miles per hour. On the approach to turn 3, the riders must sit up, brake, and change down to fourth gear. Turn 3 is taken at about 120 miles per hour, with the riders leaning completely off the motorcycle, with their left knee precariously close and almost scraping the pavement. Then there is a short straight up the hill under the bridge towards turn 4, where the riders will again brake hard, shift down to third gear, and line themselves up for this 100-mile-per-hour left-hand turn. Then they tuck themselves in close to the gas tank and accelerate hard up the hill towards the famous corkscrew. Sharp left and right-hand turns where there is a change of direction, camber, and elevation. The riders will change down to second gear and literally pick up the front wheel and wrestle the over 400-pound machine as they change direction. This is followed by the long left-hand 80-mile-per-hour turn 7 and down to the 95-mile-per-hour right-hand turn 8, where again the rider's knees almost become an outrigger for the motorcycle. Then the short straight towards the slowest corner on the track, 15 to 20 miles per hour, and back onto the start-finish straight. Now we invite you to share with David Emdy on our number 56 camera bike the sights and sounds of riding a superbike.
This is what it looks like along the start-finish straight, under the bridge, up the hill, and into turn 1. This is a tricky section. Turns 1 and 2 have been taken as one long left-hand swoop. I've got the two riders in front of me now. I'll get by one of these before turn 3. Now I can pass. I'm accelerating up to about 150. This bike is going to take some getting used to. It handles very differently with the camera on the gas tank. I hope that I can sort it out before the race. Now I'm accelerating hard up the back hill. The front wheel becomes very light. Up over the brow of the hill. Change down and brake hard for the corkscrew. area. These bikes are so fast, if you lose concentration just for an instant, you can be in real trouble.
Today's race on this 1.5-mile Laguna Seca track is the Champion Sparkplug Superbike Classic, and it marks a first in filming motorcycle races in America. For the first time ever, a bike will compete in this race with a camera actually mounted on the gas tank. David Emdy will give live coverage of what's happening from his perspective as he competes at speeds up to 150 miles per hour. On the back of the bike is a smaller camera from which we hope to see some of the racing from yet a different vantage point. Hello, everybody. My name is Bruce Flanders, and I'll be your commentator along pit row. Superbike racing is to motorcycles what NASCAR racing is to cars. The bikes actually look like one that you could buy from any motorcycle dealer's showroom, but looks can be deceiving. Modifications are made to the frame, brakes, tires, suspension, and engine. Wes Cooley, Superbike champion, explains some of the differences between his racing bike and the standard street bike.
This one weighs approximately 560 pounds, whereas its racing version weighs around 420 pounds. This one develops around 95 horsepower, and its racing version develops around 145 horsepower. First, I'd like to talk about the brakes. The brakes are the same on both motorcycles. They have double disc brakes. The racing version, however, is a larger diameter disc to accommodate the speeds that we have to stop from. This top speed on this motorcycle is around 170 miles an hour. This one's around 115 to 120. Tires on a standard motorcycle are ribbed, as we use the slicks on the racing version. The compounds in the slick tires, when they get up to heat and temperature during the race, they actually adhere better to the ground and provide for better traction. As far as the engines are concerned, the castings are exactly the same between the two motorcycles. There again, the racing version is hopped up with loader inside. The pistons have been changed, the camshafts, the cranks on occasion. We've also gone to the 4-into-1 pipe as compared to the 2-pipe on the production motorcycle. This also helps for our ground clearance problems that we have. So it has a single rear disc brake. However, the racing version is vented to help the cooling in case it does get hot during a race. Carburation is pretty much the same. We have a little bit larger bore carburetor on the racing version. We have a fairing on this motorcycle. This is to cut down the wind resistance. Also, the handlebars are slightly different than a standard production motorcycle. They're lower, enabling us to get down closer to the center of gravity of the motorcycle, thus for better stability.
Today's Superbike is a sophisticated piece of machinery. The engineering and design work that it takes to build a winner is every bit as important as its automotive counterpart, and equally important is the human element.
Okay, perfect.
That final piece of tuning.
It doesn't stick out of the cylinder head that much, does it?
The small points, the final adjustments that will tailor-make each machine for its individual rider's idiosyncrasies and racing style. And after all the adjustments, compromises, theories, and practice runs, the 160-mile-per-hour projectile is fueled and presented to the racing officials for their seal of engineering safety. 20,000 people have come to Laguna Seca today for this Superbike Classic from all around the San Francisco Bay Area and as far south as Los Angeles. They have been promised a battle between championship leaders Freddie Spencer, Eddie Lawson, David Aldana, and Wes Cooley. Over the years, Cooley has consistently been a successful competitor in Superbike races, but riders like David Aldana ride fast and hard and are never to be discounted.
If for some reason you get out and leave yourself there, I gotta...
Planning right down to the last minute, being in complete control of the moment. With everything else being equal, the strategy of racing becomes the psychology of winning.
Hi, my name is David Aldana. I'm 30 years old, and I live in Garden Grove, California. My biggest highlight in my career, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't happened yet. I would like to win the Superbike Championship this year, and then maybe I'd have something to brag about. Right now, all I look forward to is winning.
My name is Freddie Spencer. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. My most memorable race, I would have to say, is when I won the first 2 heats at Brands Hatch, England, in the Transatlantic Trophy match race. My ambitions is to be 500cc world champion or a world championship title and possibly come back and win the Grand National Championship.
This is David Envy, Oceanside, California, 22 years old. My biggest ambition is to win Daytona 200. Finished third Daytona year before last in the Superbike race and was first at the Ontario 6 Hour. Hi, my name's Eddie Lawson. My bike number is 21. I'm 21 years old from Ontario, California. My most memorable race is winning the Daytona 250 Lightweight Expert Road Race. I don't know what my future holds right now, but I hope to become the 500cc world champion. Hi, my name is Wes Cooley. My road racing number is 34. I'm 24 years of age from Santa Ana, California. To date, my most memorable road race is probably winning the Suzuka 8 Hours twice in the last 3 years. As far as future plans, I hope to be able to become Superbike champion again. And after the road racing's all over, I think I'll go back to medical school.
The top 5 qualifiers in time trials earlier today can be seen in the front row of the grid. On the outside, 5th fastest, Kawasaki's Chuck Farm, number 191, at 1 minute 13.792 seconds, a speed of 92.84 miles per hour. 4th was number 31 on the Racecrafters Kawasaki, Harry Klinsman, at 1 minute 13.394 seconds, a speed of 93.14 miles per hour. 3rd fastest is number 109, David Aldana on the Kawasaki, at 1 minute 11.244 seconds, an average of 96.41 miles per hour. 2nd fastest on the Yoshimura Suzuki with a time of 1 minute 10.311 seconds, a speed of 98.01, is number 34, Wes Cooley. And the fastest qualifier on the pole position on the inside of the racetrack, number 8, Honda's Freddie Spencer at 1 minute 9.493 seconds, a speed of 98.71 miles per hour.
Into the lead goes Wes Cooley, just ahead of Freddie Spencer and David Aldana. Coming down towards turn 3, it's number 34, Cooley, David Aldana, Freddie Spencer, Klinsman, and number 88, Roberto Pietri. Let's see it from David Envy's point of view. David?
Wow, this is going to be harder than I thought. Racing and talking at the same time.
At the corkscrew, it's Cooley first with Freddie Spencer now ahead of David Aldana. Then Harry Klinsman and Roberto Pietri. Although it's hard for David Envy to talk, let's look at it from his camera.
Into turn 8, it's still Cooley with Freddie Spencer right with him. Then there's a little bit of a gap between them and Aldana and Klinsman, with Roberto Pietri following up near the end of lap 1. So the race has taken shape with Cooley and Spencer charging for the lead, and Aldana and Klinsman within striking distance. The other favored rider, number 21, Eddie Lawson, who recorded very fast times in practice, is back in the 12th spot at the end of lap 1.
Cooley needs to make his presence felt to put him in a good, solid position towards the championship, but I don't think young Freddie Spencer will give him any ground. In fact, look how close Freddie is staying with Cooley as they thunder towards turn 3 at 150 miles per hour, and almost in unison, their knees graze along the asphalt. Ahead of Spencer, up towards the corkscrew. It's almost like Spencer is waiting to pounce as they flick these sleek but heavy machines from left to right. Spencer is going for the inside and trying to pass Cooley towards turn 7, and they're side by side. But Cooley, who has the inside line, is holding on.
What a tremendous start to this race, and what a fight these two are putting on. Already they have 3 seconds between them and third place, David Aldana. So at the end of lap 2, it's still Wes Cooley with Freddie Spencer now literally breathing down his neck and looking behind him towards the rest of the field being led by Aldana.
Cooley and Spencer through turn 2 and accelerating to 150 miles per hour. And Spencer is right there, and he's going for the lead as they go into turn 3. And he outbrakes Cooley. Freddie Spencer goes into the lead. Let's go to David Envy.
With the leaders with the camera equipment on the bike. I can't get my body low enough so the gas tank to stay out of the wind.
Eddie Lawson, number 21. Looks like he's in trouble. He's been looking down at the engine. Lawson was 12th at the end of lap 1. Now he's running 7th here on lap 3. But the bike's not running like it should. It's still 18-year-old Freddie Spencer in the lead with Wes Cooley right in his slipstream as they accelerate out of the 15-mile-an-hour turn 9. Spencer and Cooley pulling away from everyone else. At the corkscrew, Eddie Lawson still sitting in 7th place. He's again looking down at his bike, and it looks like he's going to pull into the pits. That'll be the end for number 21 today.
Fast Freddie Spencer, number 8, now has pulled about an 8-second lead over number 34, Cooley. We have a microphone on Cooley that hasn't worked until now. Wes, if you can hear me, can you let us know what's happening?
Pretty outbreak me going into turn 3. I tried to stay up with him, but my tire's getting a little slick right now. I think it's better that I stay here in 2nd place and don't crash. If I step out too far, I might end up throwing away in one of these fast corners. The important thing is for me to finish this race.
But Cooley is not one to give up easily. He has the tempered style that only comes from a lot of experience.
David Aldana, number 109, has been racing for 14 years and who has successfully made the transition from dirt tracks where the bikes spend most of their time sideways to the road tracks where one isn't supposed to get sideways. But Aldana, who's a great crowd pleaser, will often oblige his fans by putting that 450-pound monster on the very edge of its tires. Aldana's in 3rd spot. Freddie Spencer leading, who at 18 already has almost 10 years experience as a racer. Notice the ease in which Freddie handles that 140 horsepower. In terms that you might better understand, that's the equivalent of putting an Indianapolis race car engine into an economy car.
Freddie Spencer, the second of these 3 riders, is now starting to lap the back markers. Watch how he threads his bike around the slower rider, always leaving enough room in case the slower rider falls off. Well, almost always, you are witnessing an expert at work.
Those are Wes Cooley's mechanics. It's hard to tell whether he's confused over Freddie or Wes. It's not like Cooley to let Spencer get as far ahead as he is, but then again, as we heard earlier, Wes Cooley's in it for the long haul. It's championship points that brings the big money, not just winning one race. And he's still 20 seconds ahead of 3rd place Dave Aldana. David Emvey is still laboring with his extra passenger, our camera. And if you can hear me, David, come in and let me know where you are.
At the back of the course, accelerating up the hill. Concentration is a big thing at this point. If you relax just for a second, that's when you get into real trouble. Wes Cooley is just ahead of me at this point, but he's going really fast, and I won't be able to stay close to him for long. At these speeds, you don't have much time for anything that's going on outside of the track. The corners come up much too fast, and I must keep my eye on the tachometer. Too much over the red line, and the engine will suddenly turn into a spectacular junk pile. Since it's hard to be competitive right now, maybe I'll show you something special. I'm coming out of turn 9. I'll pull a wheelie for you. That doesn't win races for you, but it sure is fun, and fans love it. One of the hardest things for a non-motorcyclist to understand is how we keep these things upright. We have such little rubber between us and the track. At any one time, there's an oval area about 3 to 4 inches long and about 2.5 inches wide, touching the track, and that's about it. Compare that to a car tire, and then remember you have 4 wheels on a car. I'm coming up to the corkscrew again. I've got 2 guys in front of me. I should try to pass them. As the race goes on, if you're not fit and really on top of it, putting the bike on the right line through the corners gets harder and harder. Really close to these 2 guys now. I should get them on the next lap. Whoa!
Harry Klinsman, number 31 on the Racecrafters Kawasaki, has pulled off the track at the corkscrew, and it doesn't look too promising for him. Freddie Spencer is still on the march in the closing stages of this race. He has such a commanding lead that you'd think Freddie would slow down and take it easy, but it just isn't so. Freddie is still leading over just as far and letting his knee drag along the asphalt just as much. Look at the way he lifts his body all the way over from the right side of the bike to the left side, setting himself and the bike up for the next corner. The farther he leans himself into the corner, the farther into the corner the center of gravity is positioned, and the more upright he can leave the bike. Therefore, the more tire area being left on the ground, and the more power and traction he can use. Spencer is now a little over 12 seconds ahead of number 34, Wes Cooley. This is the last lap. Well, you've seen superbike racing from just about every angle. Watching these guys in slow motion on the last lap reminds us that motorcycle racing can be poetic, graceful, and beautiful. Even if Aldana is riding like a wild and crazy guy. Klinsman, number 31, retired at the corkscrew. Watches Wes Cooley come through for the last time. The starter, Bob O'Malley, gets the checkered flag out for young Freddie Spencer. The 18-year-old from Shreveport, Louisiana, wins this champion Spark Plug Superbike Classic. Wes Cooley from Santa Ana, California, on the Yoshimura Suzuki finishes second. And David Aldana, who didn't get to realize his ambition today, finishes third. This is an incredibly exciting and demanding sport where the machine also acts as a mobile test bed for new engineering advances that'll make motorcycling safer and more enjoyable for the street rider. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this superbike race, particularly the very special experience of being with David Emdy and witnessing what it's like to race a superbike. As for me, I think I'll stick to cruising down the highway. This is Bruce Flanders for myself, Bob Lee up in the helicopter, and David Emdy still on the racetrack saying goodbye.